Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I suffered another death of a close friend this past weekend. It sounds like he drank himself to death. He had three DUIs in the past few years. We had been talking about that, and he had times where he told me how long he had gone off of drinking, and then he would be back to it, and he was controlling it, and then he went back to it. Whatever the situation is, it made me think about my own life, because there is something I want to live long enough to see. And it also made me think about I gotta be careful, because I had another friend who died from addiction to, well, actually two other friends who died from addiction to painkillers, and both of them started innocently enough. I think one of them had a car accident, the other one had sporting injuries. And I know I have an addictive personality. If I ever get in a situation where I need to take painkillers, I think that could be the end of it. Although I do drink from time to time, I've never had a problem with that. I do a lot of things that could be addictive from time to time, right? Gambling, I do gamble from time to time, usually backgammon. I hate it because oftentimes the games are not in my budget range, but I need the social interactions, right? It's a very expensive way to interact with people, and I really despise it, but I budget for it. So it's hard to say. It could go either way. And then when I was 13 years old, I got myself addicted to soda and caffeine. I still am addicted to caffeine. It's just that half the time I don't suffer too many consequences from it. But it got me thinking I got to be extra careful now. And it's really made me despise how recklessly people drive here in the Phoenix area. We got a lot of people who just have no patience at all, right? I can't tell you how many times I'm about to merge onto a highway, and it's unclear if I can go or not because the guy behind me is just wishy-washy about it. And you know what? I'm not going to speed up to just get in front of him, because it's still better to get into a crash where I'm going slower than faster, right? So whatever the situation is, but I wish people would think about a car accident in terms of long term, right? Not just, oh my God, I gotta fix my car. I have no car for a week or two. If people thought about the long term psychological effects of it, right, we might not be inclined to drive the way that we do, right? I tend to have a more long-term perspective of it. But I think it would be the death of my friend really made me think about my own life, because I think it would be really tragic if I didn't live long enough to see the day when singles are accepted for who we are, and we have actual rights and actual workplace benefits, and not just on paper, right? What do I mean by that? Well, when singles are constantly asked to fill in for their married coworkers who have children, as if our lives didn't matter, you can put all the rights in the employee handbook you want, but it's clear that you think of singles as a second-class citizen, right? And I do want to live long enough to see all of this change. I really think it will, but I'm starting to lose hope that it will do so soon, right? And that's part of been the drive for why I keep myself healthy. Sometimes when I'm tempted to not sleep or not get enough exercise, or sometimes when I'm tempted to allow people to walk all over me on work and prevent me from sleeping, I remind myself that, gee, I got to live long enough to see this day. And it really gives me a little bit of a kick. But unfortunately, I lost 5 friends in 5 years. See, we got the 2 painkillers. This one possibly drank himself to death. And then I had 2 other friends who were the other way around. They were real good at connecting with others. They never had anybody that was further than 6 feet away from them, and they died as a result.